business trip.
Did the people move around?
It does tingle a little bit.
Do you want to go to Disney? Contact me, Princess of the Mouse Travel, and I'd love to work with you on your amazing itineraries.
Awesome. Oh, that ad is awesome. If you haven't seen it, it's up on the YouTube channel over at Disney Planning Insights. You can check that out. Can't hear either of us. Is it better now, Shan? Hopefully it's better now. I see that I should be able to hear both of us, so it might have just been something in the transition in that coming over from the ad. Okay, so number 3. You go ahead and go first. I've gone first the last couple.
I feel like there's like really only 3 ways to save money. So let's see. Okay, so I am gonna go with. So I've got several things scratched down here. I'm gonna go with my first one is sharing meals is a good way to save while you are inside the park. A lot of times when you sit down for a restaurant, it's really easy to just say, okay, everybody order what they want off the menu. And I can't tell you how many times that we'll get to the end and I'll look around the plates and I sit there going like, oh, look, there's half of my daughter's meal and there's half of my wife's meal. And there's nothing wrong with going into a sit down restaurant and, don't just get waters, if you're employing this strategy, do one of 2 things. But I'll explain that when I get done with this strategy. You can sit there and say, oh, my 2 kids are going to split this 1 adult size portion, or my daughter is probably not going to eat all of her portion, or like my 12-year-old will still order off the kids menu, even though it's for 10 and under. It's not that it's more that he doesn't like the stuff on the adult menu. And so he just wants to order off of that menu, or, share an appetizer and a dish with your spouse so that instead of getting 2 $30 dishes, you have a $15 appetizer and a $30 dish, or go in just getting an appetizer for yourself and then finish up the plates or stuff along those lines. Can be a really, really easy way to save a little bit of money. Now, if you do that, I would encourage you, now we're trying to save money, so I would still encourage you to tip well. Like, you can go into a restaurant that's supposed to charge you about $30 a plate and save a little bit of money and trim it down to $15 to $20 a person. But I would still tip under the understanding that most checks for your group are going to come in at $30 to $40 a person, and kind of tip on those guidelines. It'll also make you seem more generous, and you'll also actually save money in the long run.
You will. Okay.
What is your number 3?
My number 3 is bring your own water bottles. There are 2 ways to get water at Disney. The first is you can buy Dasani water bottles all over the park for about $4 a pop, or every place that has a soda fountain can get water cups for you, and you can refill water bottles with ice around the park. It will save you quite a bit of money to do it that way, unless the dining plans come back and you're okay spending snack points on waters. Bring a couple of water bottles. We normally will bring 2 for the family, so the girls will share 1, the boys will share 1, and we've got water all day just sitting on the backpack. So that is my number 3 way to save money. Let's go to number 2.
So my number 2 way is avoid impulse buys. It's really, really easy at Disney to just, in hot days, one of the best things that you can do is pop into a store real quick, because it's air conditioning. As you're walking by it, the doors are open, inviting you into the air conditioning. And so it's really, really easy, especially when traveling with kids, to walk around that store to get a brief rest from the hot Florida air. And the next thing you know, you roll out of there with $60 or $80 or even $20. That nickel and diming can really, really add up over the course of your vacation. So something that my family does is we have a rule that we do not buy anything until end of day. And so if we see something that we like, oh, I really, really want that, great. If you still really, really want it, this gift shop will be open after the park is closed or when we are done for the day, because the gift shops are always the last thing to close their doors at a Disney park. So that could end up saving you a ton, because that thing your kid really, really needs, it's crazy how often after a long day, that doesn't even come up as you're walking out the park. So just be careful with those impulse buys, because those things really, really add up.
All right. My number 2 is going to be stay out of the parks, especially if you're staying on site.
Hey, that's cheap. It's how do you save money in the parks?
Well, I mean, you're at the resort.
Oh, brilliant.
You're at the resort, but, most of these resorts have fantastic pools and a lot of things that are being done by cast members there. They're having movies, they're having crafts, they're having, pool parties and that kind of stuff around the properties that you're staying at already. On top of that, stop at the front desk and get your adventure card and go play putt-putt. Those are things that you can do for free and are included in your trip, but a lot of people just don't make the time for it. So those are a couple of ways right there to save money without even going into the parks.
Yeah, and on top of that, like even just add in Disney Springs, there's so much to do over at Disney Springs.
Yeah.
Now there you got to be careful with my tip too, because Disney Springs can really turn into, why are you walking back with 14 bags? really, really, really quickly.
Yeah. Alley and Basin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. All right. Choice number 1.
Okay, so this is going to go kind of along the same lines. If your kiddos are pin traders, one of the quick ways to save money is to go on to an eBay or whatever else and find a bunch of old Disney pins being sold in lots. Because what really, really adds up, if your kids are pin traders, what adds up is when you're shelling out $30 a piece to get 6 or 7 more trader pins for your kids to then go up to the boards, because your kids fall in love with their pins that they've traded for, and they should, because that's the entire purpose of pin trading. Is like both of my kids have a big pin board, and I want them to be like, ooh, that's a keeper. But what really, really adds up is when every day to go trade 6 or 7 more pins, you got to shell out another $30 for the 7 character pack one. Now on that topic, if you want to go pin trading and you have not used this tip, the best thing you can do is get about 7 pins for $30 by buying the bulk character pack ones and then trading those out. But ultimately what happens over the years is everybody trades those little character pins, and then Disney takes some and just dumps some as they kind of like keep their inventory fresh, and they just dump those things as they work other ones into circulation. And so people will just buy them and then sell them in big lots where you can get them for 20-30 cents a pin versus $4 a pin if you're buying them in the park. So just if your kids are pin traders, that is a fantastic way. Go with the pins, and then just out of your suitcase comes the 5 trading pins for today. And when they're done trading, they're done trading.
Yeah, and on top of that, let's put a little disclaimer on that. Make sure that you're actually getting Disney pins.
Yes, the back of them should have an official logo that says Disney Trading Pin Company or Disney Parks or some type of a logo, because there are unfortunately a whole bunch of knockoffs out there. So yes, make sure you are getting official Disney pins. Don't be one of those people.
Yes. All right. I'm going to take the super obvious one that I thought you were going to take, and I'm going to say use a travel agent.
I have a bonus one.
Travel agents are handy in a lot of different ways. They're not just there to help you book your trip, but they're also there in planning needs as well. So, Peter just ran away. He's like, man, I should have grabbed that one.
Oh, no.
But as far as looking for discounts, you don't have to monitor the site constantly and look for discounts for your trip. As far as planning your days out and working within a budget, a travel agent can really help you in those aspects by knowing approximate costs of meals, approximate costs of entertainment, that kind of stuff, to where you can kind of budget out what you want to spend in a lot of ways, save money by not running into unexpected costs of things at the parks. So just, reach out to Peter over at Princesses and the Mouse Disney Travel, at PATM Disney Travel over on Facebook, and let him help you out and help you on your next trip.
So just to piggyback that slightly, it's funny how often I do that. Like, I had somebody contact me earlier this year, and they were like, hey, there's a bunch of us, so we're going to do this like 2-bedroom villa, and it's going to cost us this much a night. And then I looked around at the dates that they wanted, and I said, wait a minute, you're literally traveling with 1 junior high kid and 3 high schoolers, 2 of which are not even 1 high schooler and 2 freshmen in college. Your family is relatively grown. Let's do 2 adjoining rooms at a value resort. Look, I just saved you $200 a night. If you have a good travel agent, they're going to work through those options with you. Because like I do it strictly for a joy. Like, it's just a joy to help plan a trip for people who don't know what they're doing, and getting them figured out. And same thing with the dining. It's really easy to just get, I got to do Cinderella's Royal Table. You don't need to. There's good meals for $30 a plate. So, like, just knowing budgets and things like that, a travel agent can send you to the restaurants that are going to charge $20 to $30 a plate, versus you accidentally sending yourself that's charging $40 to $50 a plate. And now it becomes a tax, and now you're not enjoying your vacation the way you would want to. My bonus one, and I am cheating and taking a bonus one just because you're going to appreciate this. Ready? My bonus one is, if you're looking to save money in the parks, just sneak your 8-year-old in a stroller pretending they're a toddler.
I was going to bring that up. I was going to say,
I was going to make it my
don't do
one.
this.
I was like, I'll go with a legitimate number 1, and then we have to mention this as a bonus one. Somebody did that last week. I think the kid was like 8 or 9 years old. They snuck him into a stroller and put a blanket over him, pretending it was an infant. And then filmed a video of like the reveal of the kid inside the park. Like, they did some remarkably amazing thing, and the internet tore them apart.
People are dumb.
People is dumb.
You get kicked by Pluto. You sneak in your kid. You steal a cucumber off the Living with the Land. I mean, come on, people.
Yeah.
Come on, people.
Stop being an idiot.
All right.
All right, we got 6 minutes. Do we want to do that, or do you want me to close this real quick and reopen?
Let's do it. We're gonna go into
what?
We're gonna go into the client question.
Oh my gosh, 6 minutes.
Hey, thanks for checking us out today. Don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons to help out the channel. Also, if you're looking for some more Disney content, check this out. I think you're gonna like it.